Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast. We are back again for another week, and we have a guest as per usual. I'm probably in the future gonna have someone, not someone, I guess someone come on as like a co-host rather than a guest and just talk about Minecraft in general. Those podcasts seem to do quite good in the past, so I'm curious to see how they do now. But we are joined yet again with somebody who qualifies for a different style of title. By that I mean we've had a server owners on who don't get like the normal like content creator kind of title for the podcast. We've had tournament owners on, and that is exactly the type of person we have on the podcast today. We are joined with the man himself, Justin, or not Justin even, Flintic.
Yeah, I have many identities.
Many identities, many names. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. So you just got home from work about an hour ago or whatever, straight onto the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Yeah, works fine, I mean, it's not really that hard of a job. It's just a ticket seller at a cinema, so the pay is good, and I just hate that I have to communicate with people. That's the only part I hate about the job.
Honestly, fair enough. I mean, you think being an event owner, you'd probably be used to communicating with people, or even sometimes tricky people, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, communicating with people event-wise, it's easier since you know them, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to talking to people, sometimes strangers you don't even know, yeah, it's a bit hard.
Well, I have this like take on life. I've kind of told people this before. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned on the podcast. So like, I've been to Comic-Con. I assume you know what Comic-Con is, and even if you don't, you probably know the rough idea of it. And then I've been up London. When I went to Comic-Con, it was packed, crazy busy, and I was completely fine. But then when I went up London, I got like really anxious and nervous at the busyness and like stuff. Not when I went over the weekend, but like in the past. I've kind of overcome it a little bit. But the thing is, I was fine at Comic-Con because I knew everyone was there for the same reason. We all shared the same interests. So I guess it's the same with like working in the cinema. Like, you don't know who's coming in, but with a tournament, everyone's there because of the Minecraft tournament kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the take I have on it. But would you like to introduce yourself? You go as many identities, not Justin, Flintic. Give us a little rundown of who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Justin. I own Minecraft Mania, as Orbitz has said. I sometimes stream on Twitch. I usually try to follow the Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I don't know, fun fact about me, I am very short. I said this in another podcast, but yeah, I'm very short.
And your pronouns are he, him, right?
He, they.
Oh, he, they. Oh, I thought it was he, him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. That's even
That's
cooler.
Very cool.
See, I just typically tend to call people like them or they, as long as like, I mean, it's just that it's kind of safety, if that makes sense. If you don't know people's pronouns, I tend to just say them, they when I'm referring to a person. Because most people are fine with that anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so you also mentioned you've been on another podcast. You were on the Minecraft events. I don't know the exact name, but they talk about like tournaments and stuff. You was on that podcast shortly before this one, right?
Yep, it was 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I can't remember the exact day.
I think it was last week.
Maybe it was last week. I think it was last week.
So who reached out to you first? Was it me or them?
It was you. It was you way back, like when Mania was like still on its like third, fourth event, I think. And you said that it would be really cool that I was featured on a podcast, and then here we are.
I reached out to you before the tournament, before Pride, because we were gonna record this after Pride, but then because we weren't sure like when you could make it, I schedule so far ahead. Like, I'm ready up until nearly the end of July, and it's June 26th today. So, and I record once a week, so you can kind of get the rough idea there.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the introduction done, and with you giving us a rundown of who you are, let's move in to talking about you specifically.
Me.
You. So you're on the podcast to talk about the tournament, etc., and we will get into that because that is the main part of the tournament, main part of the podcast. Sorry, I even talking to you beforehand, I kept mixing up the show. I don't know what's wrong with me. However, I think it'd be cool to talk about like a little bit about you. I guess to get to know your online presence a little bit more. For starters, so your name is Justin. That's obvious. However, on Twitter and on Twitch, you have the name Flintic. So, I mean, I it's better than going by like Justin 369578, because obviously Justin's gonna be taken, or probably not Justin is gonna be taken. But what's the deal with the name Flintic? Am I saying that right as well or no?
Yeah, you're saying it right. You're saying it right. Well, it's not more like of an online. Unless I used to go back a year ago, and then I was like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just my name. What's the worst could happen? Then I started going by Justin and not Justin. Like summer last year and stuff like that. But yeah, it was fun because I have a family member of mine whose name was Flynn. He's British, and yeah, that's I guess that's the only really fun fact and where it came from. I just used that name just because they say I look like him as well. They say I look like I have the same facial features and stuff.
So you just stole his flow kind of thing. I was like, you know what? I don't like you. Your name is cool. Bang, online name.
Exactly. Except for the fact that I don't even know who he was. He's like a great grandfather something.
I thought you just said cousin. Did I hear you wrong?
No, I think you did. No, he's not a cousin. No.
Why did I hear cousin? I thought I heard cousin. Oh god, okay, I made that up in my head. Alright, fair enough. And that's gonna be interesting to look back on and see if you actually did say cousin now, but I don't think you did. I think I just made that up.
Cousin, I meant grandfather.
I don't know how we either of us have got that mixed up. Like, what about the tick part? Is that just to add to the end? Like it sounded cool, or is that like add actual meaning?
Just adding it to the end. Just cool.
Just screw it. It sounds alright. I mean, it flows well, to be fair, and it's a cool name. And
did you say Flo?
Flo, it flows well, yeah.
No, it's Flynn. Flynn.
It flows well.
Oh my god, I thought you were that was embarrassing.
No. Long day at work.
Yeah. Not really. It was just an hour. I'm being dramatic.
A long hour at work. It felt like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It sounds alright. Like it works. It's cool. And you said that was your name from a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you got into like I guess content creation? We're gonna talk about when you started up the tournament, so that'll be like a whole different thing. But like you streaming on Twitch, was that like a year ago? Or have you been streaming for a while?
Oh no. I got affiliate last year.
So yeah, probably last year, right?
I guess I really got into streaming last year, but I used to do some streams like then and there. But then like last year I started doing in like mini tournaments and stuff. So that's where I really continued. I was like, oh yeah, maybe streaming is really fun. So and then that's where I got into more streaming, and then I got affiliated, and then Minecraft Mania happened, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. We're gonna talk about the rest anyways at one point. So what about your skin then? I want to say what animal I think it is, but then I don't want to embarrass myself and get it wrong. So I'm just gonna let you tell me what animal it is.
It's a bear.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Cute, soft teddy bear.
What's the deal with that? Why did you choose? Is it because you like bears, or is that like once again you just because like most people who come on, their thing is they just see a skin, they like it, and they just have it. Is that the same scenario?
Well, I used to have a regular human, if you want to say like that, skin.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I felt like it wasn't really sweaty enough. Like if I appeared in a Sky Battle, for example, game, I would look more sweaty if I had an animal skin. If you know what I mean.
But I don't know.
In all seriousness, I have a weird, it's not weird an obsession. I mean, for my age maybe, but I have a lot of like plushies and teddy bears and like soft toys in general, all lined up on a shelf to the right of me right now. So I guess that I really love plushies and stuff. I really love them. So I guess teddy bear is like, it's just me. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make that my Minecraft skin.
I guess to kind of comfort you a little here, to the right of me, I also have like this unit with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves on it, and one of the shelves are literally just full of plushies.
Yay!
And the majority of them are cow plushies. So it's not mine. It's my girlfriend's shelf. She kind of just took a shelf in my room, and it kind of just works. So So yeah. So I guess to comfort you a little bit, I also have a shelf full of plushies of my own as well. So
yeah. I'm trying to count how many I have, but it's over 20 for sure.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 in there as well. There's actually, to be fair, one of them is mine. There's there's 2. So there's one there's like a small little Paddington bear that I found on a train. So I brought it home, cleaned it up, and put it there. And then I also have a bee one, and it's I got sent it by the. Do you know the Hive? Do you remember the Hive on Java Edition?
Yeah.
They're a server on Bedrock Edition as well, and so they sent me one of the bee plushies. So.
Aww.
Yeah, so I have that as well. well. I mean, there's a story behind that which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, but I wasn't meant to get sent one. so yeah, so I think they kind of messed up someone and in the end had to send me one. So I was like, okay, I ain't complaining. You know, it was like £25 for it. So I was like, you know, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. But yeah,
£25 isn't that bad.
Yeah, I know, but it's also like I didn't want to spend £25.
That's very true. That is very true.
They offered to give it to me if they hadn't have like contacted me, I was gonna buy it last minute. But then they said we're gonna give it to you, so I was like, okay, it saves me £25. You know, it's you know, because like the MCCI coin, because I got one, but then I was gonna buy like the one for Pride, but it's like £20, and then like it's like £30 and then £20 delivery. I was just like, that's too expensive to be spending. Like I wanted it, it's cool. Like I can't. My other one's on my desk. There, I found it, but like. I really wanted one, but it's like I ain't spending 50 quid for a coin, you know?
Yeah. It was 60 for me. It was crazy. It was like 30 for the coin and another 30 for like shipping, which I'm like,
which is mental.
If it was just like, you know, maybe 10 for a coin, maybe 30 for shipping, I was like, oh, maybe I'll consider it. But 60, it's like how like Nintendo Switch games are 60 for like minimal content.
Bro, that's cheaper. Sometimes. That's more expensive than GTA nowadays.
Oh my god.
You know, that's like what, 2 Minecraft games? Like, come on. Which isn't their fault. I understand like with the whole wanting to make money for like everything, and then I guess the shipping wise is I've never seen any. I guess actually Technoblade merch was quite expensive to ship from America as well. So I guess that's just normal to do that. But yeah, I just wasn't willing to pay it, sadly. I really wanted one, but yeah. In regards to your skin though, what made you think that was more sweaty being a bear, being a cuddly bear? What?
I don't know. It's just like I don't have a logical explanation after it, because usually you see a Sky Battle sweat and their skin is like just weird, plain and simple is how I would say it. No offense to anyone who is a Sky Battle sweat. So I just wanted to, you know, fit in with them. Although I am not a Sky Battle sweat, I suck ass. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's fine as well. I mean, I guess I still call it a PG podcast, but a little swear word, especially arse isn't gonna hurt anyone, is it? Well, no, I swear on the podcast myself. The one that was recorded last week, I finally caught up with editing podcasts, and that's already been edited, ready to go out this Friday, which feels so good. I swore on it twice, so you know it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah. So I guess like because I say this so much now. I've been in this community for like 4 months now. My old community, like the really sweaty skins were like these like e-boy skins.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm on about.
That's what I would never do.
Yeah, they were the sweaty skins on the Hive Bedrock edition, so that kind of sums that up. But yeah, with that being said, that's all I really have to ask. I was gonna ask stuff like about like how you got into streaming, but I feel like that kind of comes into links with Minecraft Mania, which is obviously the main topic of the podcast. And plus, I'd rather know like how you got into making a tournament thing, kind of like because I don't want to make podcasts too long. So if we spend so long talking about that, like if it was just a podcast about that, it makes sense. But because like I have such a big chunk of questions for Minecraft Mania, to the point where like I don't want the podcast to like be stupidly long, kind of thing. But yeah, with that being said, let's move into Mania.
Woo.
So you are the owner of Minecraft Mania. You also have a co-owner, if I'm correct, being...
Yes.
How do you pronounce it? Is it Mikey or Mickey? It's Mickey, right?
Mickey.
Okay,
like
good.
Mickey Mouse.
Good, okay, I've been saying it right. So, controversial, and you're allowed to say we're both equal. Who would you say is like the owner?
Ooh, oh my god, this is... I mean... Yeah, I feel like when it comes to making decisions and final decisions, we have a chat for just me and him. It's more like we decide what we want to do together. Like if there's a game that needs to be done or a team, we finalize it together rather than just like one person does it. But I feel like I am more of the owner to a point where it was my main idea to make this event. Even regards to like organizing stuff like dates and just making like the organization of it and like setting up charity events, for example. It's all me, and inviting people and, you know, making bans to people as well, because sometimes you have to do that.
That's always fun.
It always comes down to like me. So I feel like I am more of an owner on that side, but I feel like Mickey's just as an owner as I am at some points. And I don't think I can run the event without him. So I really value him. Even though maybe sometimes we disagree on things, but I really value him.
That's gonna happen. When I used to have a co-host on a podcast, we'd disagree all the time on who we wanted to have on as like. There's a lot of people who, not now, but at the time, I would have liked to have on as a guest. However, what's it called? Like they weren't on because at the time my co-host like didn't want them on, kind of thing. I'm not gonna say names for like purposes of that, but I guess like I kind of see that. So in a sense, like you're both owners, but you kind of do all like you take charge a little bit in regards to like how you said the charity event. It was kind of your thing. If someone needs banned, you kind of go ahead and do that. It's like, once again, with me in the podcast, we were both like runners of the podcast, but I'm the one who did all the editing. I'm the one who arranged the guests to come on. I'm the one who did like all that kind of jazz, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like me for the podcast. Well, I mean, now that I'm on my own, but back then, if you can kind of imagine what it was like back then. So as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong, and I heard this recently, so once again, I don't know the full facts of this. MC Mania was either originally a recreation or it was built from a recreation. Like, once again, I'm not accusing you here. I'm just asking, is it something to do with that, or have I heard that wrong?
This is very interesting. So I didn't actually talk about this on the other podcast, so I'm really happy to actually discuss it. Originally, when we built up Mania, it was built up from just a bunch of friends playing a bunch of like, recreation games, to say the least.
Were these different recreation tournaments or just like one recreation?
What do you mean?
When you said like it built up from a bunch of friends playing recreations, you mean like one recreation event?
Okay, just one tournament.
Friends. So I guess like, okay, yeah, cool. All right, yeah, sorry, carry on. I just wanted to get that clear.
And then around December and stuff, we were like, it's not really that fun. So it's like the same thing. So we just wanted to make something custom, something new, something that within our group of friends in our community, there wasn't a full-on 6 at the time game, like 6-game event, custom, like fully custom. So, and then from that point, we were like, you know what? December, we're going to release a Christmas event, which is like 6 games custom, and we didn't meet the deadline, so we had to push it forward to February. And then the Minecraft Mania started on February the 25th, I believe.
Oh, so
just make sure. Yeah.
Mania is like really new. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Because like once again, I joined this community in March, and I contacted you. I just got up in a chat on the 20th of April about firstly joining a tournament. 13th of April about firstly joining the tournament, but also inviting you on the podcast. I did like both on the same day. Yeah. And I know I promised the podcast thing wasn't for me to try and get in the tournament. Like we've discussed, I've been benched this tournament and I'm still doing the podcast. So clearly being in the tournament isn't like that big of a deal to me, to the point where I'm like, screw you, podcast is off, kind of idea. But I thought Mania had been around. I know that it said that we're on Minecraft Mania 5 now.
Yeah, we're on 5.
Technically 6 if you include Pride.
Yeah.
It's a 6th tournament. That's why I thought, I don't know what like led me to believe it's been around for longer, but so is there anyone from that group of friends who are still in Mania? I heard something to do with like Gaza being the reason Mania exists or something. It's
a funny thing. Gaza used to be a part of the admin team back in December. He didn't do anything, so I decided to remove him, so he was no longer in the team. Some people who are still in from that time, there are some people, but not a lot. Like I would say, for example, the entire Peach Pigs of this tournament, they all were in the original event.
Rigged. Boo. I'm still convinced, and I don't know why that Hubert's gonna sub out. I don't know why I've convinced myself, but I've said it to him. You're gonna sub out. I don't know why.
He subs out.
I think it'd be funny. I don't know why. I just think he's subbing out.
I hope no one subs out. Last event we didn't have any subs until the event day, which is pretty good. So I'm just hoping, like crossing my fingers, that nothing happens.
Oh, I'm hoping they don't sub out. It's just I don't know why. As soon as I joined the call with them and they started speaking, they just gave me sub out vibes. And I said this to them as well. Like it's partial. I'm joking. Like I'm not being serious. But has there ever been a Mania where no one subbed out?
Trying to think. I don't think so. No.
Because I know the one before Pride, you had someone sub out because I was gonna sub in last minute on the day, but I didn't want my first Mania to be me subbing in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So that one had a sub.
4 had like 2 people. Mania 4, and then 3.
If you can't remember, it's fine.
No, 3 an entire team subbed out. I think I don't think we ever had one, no.
So I guess back to like where Mania came from, etc. What was like the inspiration for the tournament? Like, did it? I know you mentioned how like it was just a recreation that you played with like close friends. Was that like never a recreation that you opened up for like public signups then?
Never. It was never public. It was all just like friendly, like just in community and stuff like that. It was never really wanted to be like a big Minecraft event at that time. When it came towards February and we saw that, the first event was like, it was pretty decent. It was for the time, it was pretty decent compared to like Mania now. It is nowhere like near as good. But we were like, maybe we saw Piggles wanted to start playing in like in more events, and we said, you know what? Let's take a shot. Let's invite Piggles to see what happens. And we did. And then from there, like obviously, Mania 2 is a brilliant event, and then Mania 3 happened, which was kind of a bit of more of a miss on the factor, since some things broke there and there. But that branched us out with like being more public, being more well known, rather it being to where it is today.
Yeah. That's fair enough. So was the inspiration from it because you like kind of turned around and said, okay, I'm like, well, firstly you said you got bored of the recreation, but was it also a case of you kind of just saw like other tournaments as well and was like, yeah, I want to run one of those?
Yeah, I saw like I think it was, oh geez,
Mayhem by any chance?
Probably I think Mayhem. I am not. No, I don't think it was Mayhem. It was Pet. It was Pet. Pet was a fully 6-game, I believe. I could be wrong. 6-game custom event, and it wasn't really like that over the top. It was pretty simple, and I was like, that's really fun owning an event like that. And sometimes maybe playing in it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I want to do that. And so I contacted Mickey. I contacted 2 other of my admins, and they're like, should we just like say like drop this? I mean, it's not really going to put us anywhere. It's just going to be like us having fun. And so we started upgrading and making it custom. So
also, yep. Stinky recreation. Bad.
Yeah.
And then obviously it started to take like a big turn. Like you started getting like Piggles in. You got Lackey has recently joined. Sandwich Lord has now joined as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty big for us.
It's like really. I've invited Sandwich Lord on the podcast, and he said it's like not really his thing, which is completely fine. But like I remember like hearing him on stream say something about like not playing in Mania. He never said anything bad about it. He just said he wouldn't ever play it, and like a week later joined. So, but it's crazy how like he took that big U-turn, which is good. Like, he subbed into Mayhem recently as well, and then now he's starting in a Mania, and I mean I think he'll enjoy it. But I think it's also a case of like a lot of his friends are playing, like FaZe, Emily. There's a lot of people like who are friends with like Samsung who are in this tournament. I think I counted like 11 people in this tournament who are from the Discord, which I won't mention too much about. But yeah, none of them being me though. I'm just, oh man, like I'm not like sorry. I'm a bit. I guess I'm a bit sad because I was kind of looking forward to it. But it's also a case of I did put down I wasn't sure if I could make it, so it makes sense why you kind of turn around and said like we're only going to invite people who we know. But we're going to get into talking about team making in a second. But yeah, so with Minecraft Mania, how long did it take for the the making of it? And what were like, I know Spleef was an original game, but when so in December is when you wanted to turn it around, right? And when you wanted to make your own tournament.
It was November, and we wanted to have it for December. But
you didn't have it until February.
We didn't have it until February because we didn't have enough like resources to put out in December. So we're like, new time, new event,
and then like
or new date.
And then was it fully done in February, or did you have a few problems in the first tournament?
Well, fully done. Some things were done like the night of the event, which is crazy. For example, the well-known game Hide and Go Hunt.
Yeah.
Was actually done the night before the event. So event was on the 25th. The game was done the 24th, and we tested it like 25th morning, and it was flawless. Surprisingly, like I had no flaws. Whoever made that game, big claps for them. Honestly, I thought it was not going to happen. No, it was not me.
Who made the game then?
It was Riftkey.
Ah, okay, all right. You can't just say their name. You don't have to go, oh, whoever made it. Give them the props they deserve. What? I
don't like them. As a friendly way, by the way. We have friendly banter.
Oh, okay. All right. So I can keep that in. I can keep that in, and I don't have to cut out.
No, yeah, you can keep it.
Oh, okay. Phew, I was about to say, oh no. All right. So today, so what other games were in the original like February event then?
So we had Hunger Games, which is SG, PvP Rumble, Hide and Go Hunt, Racers, Spleef, and Parker Panic.
So what happened to Spleef and Hunger Games then?
Well, Spleef was supposed to be in Mania 3, but it gave us so many problems throughout the entire testing period. And then on the day of the event, we were like, okay, we tested it, and we tested it the night before. The game works. Okay, fixed it. All right, perfect. We'll be in the event. No problems there. Event comes around, the game fully breaks, and just oh my god, it's just pissed us off.
Oh,
So then this
Piggle's
week
first tournament won it as well.
no, it was the third one. It was like when Emily's first event, I think.
Oh, so Piggles had played in 2 at that point then, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we blew it up.
Yeah, I remember seeing a Twitter clip.
Yeah.
So there's an argument that not an argument actually, like, so there's a Bedrock tournament I play in called MCBC. Sorry to mention like other tournaments, I hope you don't mind. It's just because I'm just referring to as I don't know. I did it on the Mayhem podcast and they didn't seem to mind, and I did it I recorded with an MCBC with the MCBC owner as well, and I kind of mentioned about Mania and stuff on that podcast as well. So I guess it's like I mentioned you on their podcast as well. So but that's like a closed behind doors kind of tournament. Like we stream it, but it's like just it's very hard to get like invited to the event. I think they have a roster of like I think the event holds like 18 people and the roster is like 30.
Ooh.
So it's like 6 teams of 3. So if I've done the maths there, I think I have, yeah. But they have a spleef game mode in it, and it gets skipped like every single event. And I like made a meme about wanting to play it, but the argument that one of the players had, and which is true, is if you want to play spleef, you just go onto a server and play spleef.
Yeah,
like
that is very true.
There's so many servers with like things like TNT running spleef, and it's not to say like that your tournament shouldn't have spleef, but like if you really want to play it that badly, and you're like, oh crap, I'm never gonna get to play Mania, just go on Bedrock Edition. Like half the like there's like a server called Pixel Paradise with spleef. Like Java Edition has a good few servers of spleef. So like it's one of those games where you're not really missing out with it being gone, kind of thing. Hunger Games, on the other hand, that is something you can't really play anymore. So what was the deal with removing that?
Well, we saw that Hunger Games was really common in most events. Specifically, it's a really, really well-made game in MCC, and then its variation in Pandora's Box, which is phenomenal with the Gulag system. I enjoy it so much. I give them like props for doing it. It is really hard to find a way to make the game unique, and we came up with the ideas, but they were really like impossible to do without featuring an even bigger RNG system. So we were like, you know what, it's a good game, just not for this event potentially.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I guess like once again it's one of those things of like you can try and get into other tournaments to have Hunger Games. I guess it's just slightly harder to get into MCC. So
yeah, exactly.
But I mean I like the games on the current thing. Unless I just I'm remembering wrong. Isn't it like a new game this season or a new game coming
for 5?
Yeah, or am I wrong?
I don't know if I can really, drop the information, but I would say expect like a lot of changes to most of the roster. Some games are staying, some games are going, some games are getting remade.
Oh, you mean game roster? Oh, when you said roster, I thought you meant people roster. I was about to say, why are you talking about the people roster?
No. The roster's most likely staying for a while.
Okay, and then until like it's kind of decided it has to, it's getting a bit too much kind of thing. So yeah, because I remember like at the end of Pride, because we reached a goal, you like made a leak, and I guess that's what gave me the impression there's going to be a new game or things changed. I know Mickey said that Racers map was a one-time thing. I'm actually sad because
I am very sad as well.
I popped off. I came first. We
did. Oh yeah, you came. Oh yeah, we did so well.
Yeah, remember the second app where we all came first, second, third.
All top 4. That was actually mental. That's crazy.
I went back on a few VODs. A lot of rigged calls. A lot of rigged calls.
Yeah, so many. It was crazy. Thing is, I completely, like, unintentionally, by the way, I didn't do it just so I can keep like a clean image or whatever. I completely fluked the rest of the laps. After lap 2, I missed jumps. I tried going for skips. It was a mess.
No, I was tryharding. I was tryharding so much because I looked back on my VOD, right, and I go, someone finished a lap at the same time as me. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, where have they come from? They've just caught up. I was on lap 3. They were on lap 2. Yeah, I was like, and then looking back on the VOD, I was like, oh, I lapped them. I was like, oh no, I lapped a good. Me and Denz lapped a good few people. That races.
Yeah,
because the thing is, a few people. Because I've been speedrunning a lot. I've been speedrunning not non-stop. I mean, you see my PBs, you DM me about it, like congratulating me and stuff every single time. So like I've been speedrunning a lot. So I've kind of learned to like pick up on the fastest routes and stuff. And during that run after the first lap, I just knew the perfect route. that I could take to
Yeah.
win, and then ended up paying off. Because like I said, there's a lot of road calls. We ended up winning as well. You got to win your own event. That's sick.
Yes.
How
I
how'd you
am
feel?
very, very happy for winning my own event.
It was a solid team as well, you know.
I didn't really expect us to do that well, I'm not gonna lie.
I bottom fragged in 13th of all players. 13th, and I was the bottom frag.
Yeah.
It's quite
That's
sad
crazy.
though, because I've been saying I was in 6th. I looked back. I was in 7th before hide and go hunt, and I threw.
To be fair, I don't think we would have been in that top 2 if it was Sky Survivors.
No,
Especially with like blue breathing down on our necks.
Yeah, I felt bad because Emily wanted to play it, but we were just like, no, we're not gonna win if we play this.
Yeah.
We're not, and it paid off. I mean, we ended up we were first, we came second, but we won shooters.
Exactly. With my 1v3 on like half a heart.
No, you aced as well, didn't you? You aced.
Yeah, it was a half a heart ace. That was crazy. I looked back at it when I was like cutting down my VOD into like 2 events. I was shocked, very, very shocked. I didn't know I was gonna actually do that. I was on half a heart. I think Dennis was dead, and I was just like suddenly I became Katniss Everdeen, and I was just hitting all my shots.
Hasn't Oh no, Denz was still alive.
It was still alive. Okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter anyways. Like you said, you still became. So before you answer this, bearing in mind this podcast is coming out the week before Mania. So just in case this leaks anything, me asking. I heard, and I'm not sure if it was a joke, I read even, that Mickey said that Shooters is no longer the final game. Has that been changed?
That has been changed. Yeah, it is. We saw that. For me, I said this, I think, I don't know if I said it on the other podcast. My ideal final game is to have a game that is all round in skill wise. So it has an element of movement, it has an element of team communication, and it has an element of PvP. So it's not just like straight up bowing and who is like the best shot, basically. Because that makes it like unfair. Because you can have a shooters team which really sucks, which really sucks at shooting, but they did really good in the event. Go up against a team who are like the best archers ever. So it was really unbalanced how I saw it. And so I really want a game. I won't say too much of the game because again, I don't know when this is coming out, and I don't know when like the game I mentioned.
Week before the tournament.
Okay, I don't think the update video will be out by then, which is like where we'll go into more in depth with the game. But yeah, we have an idea. It's in the making right now as we're recording this. Will be finished out like pretty soon, I think.
That's gonna be.
But it is a really, really, really team communication game. You really need comms for it. That's all I can say.
Is it still gonna be 4v4 though? I assume that's fine to answer. Oh, 5v5 even. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It will.
Because okay, I guess I hope you can answer this. Once again, you can say no. It's not gonna be like that Crown Quest, like the new game they added where you do easy, medium, hard, it's super hard, right? It's not gonna be something like that, like a team based like race game.
No.
All right, so it's gonna be still
that
PvP
game caused me
based.
enough trauma.
So it's still gonna be PvP based as well, though, yeah.
Yeah, it has an element of PvP, an element of movement, and an element of team communication.
Okay, I wonder if it's gonna be like, because if it's best of 3, it might be like a 3 round or 3 different things. That'd be cool for a tournament. I think because that's already in the works. Oh yeah, go on.
I think when we have talked with like so far, it is just one long round. So that's the hints I can give you.
Okay. I mean, I guess like if you ever feel like changing it, a cool idea would be like, and I've never seen any tournament do it, have 3 different final games. So like one like a race game or whatever, another one a PvP game, and the third one like whatever, and it's like 3 different things. I think that could be cool for like a best of 3 final event one day. But once again, I don't know if events will ever add that. But yeah, I understand. The same with like the Aussie 4 stack. They played really, really well. They made a massive comeback in Sky thing. But then obviously with the ping, got screwed over in like shooters. So you know, which was like nothing they could do. So once again, I guess like with this new game, hopefully it kind of sorts out that ping issue.
Yeah, it also sorts out like maybe an OP team making it and a less OP team making it.
Fair enough. So I guess moving into a more controversial aspect. Ooh. So to clarify, and I Justin, please clarify with me so that it doesn't come off as bad. We did mention before the podcast that we were going to talk about this. I have made it very clear that this doesn't come from a place of saltiness. It is purely just for the podcast. Because it's going to be talking about like the team making and stuff like that. And once again, had I have not been benched, it wouldn't come off as salty. Because I've been benched, it can probably come off as salty. But me and you have clarified before the podcast that this is good to talk about, right?
Yeah, it's completely good with.
And you know it doesn't come from like a negative place from me kind of thing. It's just for the podcast. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I'm kind of over exaggerating it. I'm not even gonna really say anything bad, so it won't come off that way. So there's two different things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about firstly the team making, signups, etc. And then the second thing is we're gonna talk about how quickly teams are made. So two different kind of topics. So I mean, you knew this was coming anyways. But yeah, so with the tournaments, there's a lot of people, and to be honest, I know we've talked about this before, and I mentioned like how many times people played. I don't really care if people play in multiple tournaments. I mean, look at MCC. Wilbur's played in so many Smages, played in so many, so it's not really that big of a deal. But there's a good few people who like constantly get into Mania. I'm not gonna say names personally, and once again, I don't think it's in a bad way. But with like team making and stuff, how exactly do you decide who gets to play in Mania or who plays on certain teams, kind of thing? Because like I said, with the same people playing, like would ever be benched or that kind of idea?
Well, I always try to aim for having a well-balanced 20 people who are like really close community, as I was talking about like earlier with like inner community. I'm gonna say close community, which is like friends of me and like the admin team, and then 20 who are like content creators is what we're gonna call them. So that's what when I start team making, that's what I try to do first, is like having a fair share split. No, so it's not like the other events, which is just 40 content creators, or like two separate events, because I personally don't like the idea of having two separate events. Yeah, so that's like a main factor I try to go for. The other one is I really try to prioritize newcomers over people who have played more. To a certain point, obviously, as you said before, there are people who have played in like continuous ones. But for those people who have played in continuous ones, I see as like, hey, you've done something great for us. This is like our way to like thank you, is to by put you in constantly. I guess that is also a reason. Some of it is also like, you know, Mickey's close friend, my close friend. It's like how Scott has said this before, how he has an auto spot, for example, for LD Shadow Lady. So every time she wants to apply, she basically is in. It's more so like that. It's like there's some people who, they applied, we put them in because like we really enjoy them. So that's on that part. And then I always just try to like have a theme when it comes to like making a team. So if I want a set of teams which are like incredibly vibey, which are like, you know, we'll only have fun, we'll just laugh. And then I'll have like a set of OP teams, how we had in Mania 4. And then just sometimes it's just like a normal balanced like 8 teams of 5, which I don't think we've had yet because they're mostly just vibey and OP.
So what would you say this event is? Vibey and OP?
This one is very much vibey and OP, yeah. I really love what some like of the teams I made, and like it is known that, you know, Melon team, for example, has Olive and Kel, and Red has Sandwich Lord and FaZe, and like really good like some other good players. But I just think that, for example, like Yellow team, although being one of the weakest, I just think that they will have the most amount of fun because they're like incredibly cool, amazing people. Same with like, I don't know, Peach and Purple, for example. I mean, you never know what could happen. You could have like, I hope not, but like Kel Austin could see that Mania maybe is not his event. Maybe he like chokes up in like a few of the games, and maybe Melon falls short. I mean, we've seen that happen. I've seen
your mic's
an OP team. Is it fine?
I know it's just a bit static right now.
Okay, I don't know if I fixed it.
Yeah, that's good. Good, yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, so there has been like OP teams in our eyes which ended up falling short. I'll like drop some examples. Like in Minecraft Mania, I know the Minecraft Mania 3, the Elderberry team was pretty decent, and they ended up not really doing that well. Same with Mania 4 Grape, that was a really strong team, and again ended up not doing that well. So it really just depends. Like you could have a solid team, but something just could happen, and like they could choke, or like maybe it's just like they're not used to the games. As I would say we kind of have like more of a different style of our games than like other events.
That's fair enough. I mean, my team predictions, and I guess it's cool to stay on a podcast because this is definitely unedited. I can't edit this and go back and change this. Cherry to place first, Blue to place second and win the event, Grape to place third, Melon to place fourth, Apricot to place fifth, Elderberry to place sixth, Peach to place seventh, and Banana to place eighth. So hot take, spicy take, but I think I cooked up team predictions. I do.
I think you kind of did. I don't personally like doing the predictions, although I might just still do them because I feel like A, I'll hurt people's feelings. I feel really bad. And B is just I hate being wrong. It's just a thing of me. Comes from like a long it's like a family thing. Like I hate being wrong, especially when I make predictions. So what I enjoy doing instead is making a 5x5 bingo card, and that's just usually just more fun to do because you can make like funny things that you predict that might happen rather than just like melon getting first, apricot getting second.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I guess to clarify this as well, this podcast is being recorded before any subs have been made, so that's my predictions before subs. Who knows, it might change. But I guess it's also like with you and predictions, it's also you're the owner, so if you predict like certain teams to play certain like things, that I know it's not what you're intending, but people can take that out of context, like, oh, so you've purposely buffed, like, I'm not purposely, but you know what teams are like stronger than others because that's where you think they're going to place, kind of thing.
Yeah, which
And
is not
people
true at all.
Yeah, but people love to take stuff out of context. That's what I'm saying. I know it's not the case, but people love to like twist the narrative so much.
Yeah,
It happens with anything, so But yeah, so I guess back to the sign-ups thing then to talk about that a little bit more. So you have like people who you like to play in the event. Once again, I'm not going to say names. 'Cause I don't want to like say any names. But you have people who like to play in more events. I guess with like this event, for example, me specifically, because I guess it's my podcast. Had I have like put that I can guaranteed make it, would I have still been benched?
I honestly don't know. Maybe I'm not sure.
I mean, you can say yes. Like I said, I don't want to hurt my feelings. I'm just making conversation kind of thing for the podcast as well.
Putting the maybe factor does put you like down on the priority list because like we obviously don't want to have like subs. Like our main priority is to have people who we're sure that can make it. So when someone puts down maybe, their chance of being in set event is like dropped, obviously. So maybe if you put yes, I mean maybe you would have been on one of the teams.
So that's when I made the joke about lying. But now that I've said that, it's like, oh, I want to make that very clear that I will, like, your next tournament, if it's still maybe, I am going to be honest and say maybe, like, I wouldn't lie and put yes. But, like, I hope you saying that isn't going to encourage people to not put maybe. Like, how many people put maybe this tournament?
There were a few people.
So I hope that doesn't really encourage people to start lying and putting yes. Like, if anyone's listening,
no, there was some people. I would say there's like a solid like 15. No, that's a lot. Like 5, 6, 7, 8. I can see 8.
So that's still like 18, 90 people saying they can guaranteed make it anyways.
Yeah, because I mean sometimes when you do apply, you're gonna make it, so you just you apply obviously. And then obviously there's things that can happen like the day of, which we see obviously as because anything it could happen to us, same with so we obviously have we're not like that tough. If someone has to sub out, we're like, okay, you just tell us and we'll get a sub. That's it.
Yeah, just don't screw you over and leave you in the dark kind of thing.
No, unless how you were about it. We had someone, it was like in the first event. They were like, I'd rather much sleep rather than play the event, which we were like, I mean, you could have not applied then, because he knew the time difference, and they were just I saw it as a bit bratty. But if it's like, hey, my parents need me to go somewhere, I'm like, reasonable, understandable, because that has happened to me.
I mean, it's literally happened to me on like tournament days. Like I'm saying I'm gonna watch Mania. Or I mean, I know I said as a joke. I said before the podcast that if you're looking for subs, I probably won't sub in. I probably will, depending on the team, because I know I can kind of vibe with anyone, but there's people I vibe with more than other people. If that makes sense. So like, if you need a sub and you can't come to me, once again, not trying to put you on like pressure to come to me. If you think someone's a better sub, go to them definitely. But like if it's the case of like you need a sub, then yeah. But it's also I want to watch Mania right now, but I know for well like Friday night my dad's gonna turn around and be to me and be like, "Do you want to go out drinking tomorrow? Do you want to go play some pool for like 6 hours?" And it's just like, yeah, well, I'm not playing in Mania, so yeah. And then on the day you're gonna need subs, and it's like, I'm out drinking. I can't sub in now because I've agreed to this kind of thing. So I guess that's kind of links to the idea. If you can kind of make sense from that. With applications, then there's a lot of people who haven't made it into the event and stuff, and then obviously I don't want to say bias, because that's a really crappy word to use, or even favoritism is a crappy word to use. I guess there's like preference for certain players to play in. Would you say like Mania is more like it's easier to get in if you're like closer friends? Because you said you like put your friends in more, and like even like Smay just said it, he puts people in more who's like kind of close with. Would you say like that's like obviously a bit of an advantage kind of thing?
Yeah, if I'm being like straight up honest, yeah, honestly, I saw someone say, which kind of like upset me a bit, because like it's not clearly what we're going for. It's like we're putting in just creators just because like we want like the views and stuff, which is like completely not what I am after. I want a 40-player event, which is fun, which 40 people, I'm putting everyone on the same playing field. 40 people come together and just like have the time of their lives. You know, that's my intention. And I try to make every team to be balanced with one another, although sometimes it's hard and sometimes I fail. But my main important goal is that all 5 players like vibe with each other, like they have fun, you know.
But
So
oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
so yeah, I do say that maybe if you're like closer friends, it does help a bit more. Yeah.
But yeah, like that makes sense though, because obviously, I guess what people don't understand is as well is like, and it's what most tournaments do is you started off as it just being close friends, close quarters. Okay, if someone like I'm gonna say names this time because this isn't relevant to the tournament. If someone like Antfrost or like someone big turns around and says, "Yeah, I want to play Mania," of course you're gonna turn around and be like, "Yes." You'd be silly to turn around to someone like that and say no. So like when like other people who have recently joined and I won't say, once again, I'm not gonna say names. I don't want to say anything. But like if they turn around and they have like, you know, they're gonna average a good amount of viewers like in your event. Of course, like you want to grow as a tournament. You want to bring traction to your tournament. So even if there is that case of like, oh yeah, some creators playing every single tournament, I guess like to an extent. I personally feel like some people shouldn't play in every single tournament. There should be a bit of like, because I guess if there's certain people who are guaranteed in every single tournament, it makes it kind of, it's not really technically 40 people have a chance, if that makes sense. Because if like 4 people are guaranteed in, that's only actually 36, which to me don't really make much of a difference. Like people really over exaggerate it, like, oh, like 4 people guaranteed in, oh, that's ruined my chances. It's like, but you're not guaranteed in even if those 4 people aren't, you know. So but like if someone big turns around and says they want to play in your tournament, you want to bring traction to your tournament, you want to bring attention to your tournament. It's that's probably why you agreed to come on the podcast as well. Although like my podcast doesn't get crazy amount of views, it's still bringing attention to Minecraft Mania. Like, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep it for like friends and let your friends play, etc. But at the same time, you want to grow. You know, like if MCC wouldn't be there if it was only 4 close friends. I know you said you don't really agree with the idea of like splitting tournaments, but Block Wars wouldn't be where it is today if they didn't start inviting larger creators. You know, and it's coming to that time of where Mania is becoming such like a good tournament. I mean, in the tweet I literally said up and coming. You've been around since February, and it's this good of a tournament. It's getting these big of creators in. Like it's coming to that stage now where you start having to kind of be like, okay, we don't want to be stuck in like a case of, oh, it's a fun tournament, and I mean it costs you to run it as well. So of course you're gonna want to bring attention to it at the same time, because if it's costing you, it's not like, unless obviously people started paying, but then you don't want to do that. You don't want to take money from people. Exactly. So I don't know. I'm very much on your side. Like I said, it may not seem it, you know, when I DM'd you, and I know you got like a lot of DMs. Mine wasn't even bad. It was just about like thing. And I was making memes in the Discord. My Twitter picture was great. I think it was really funny.
It was funny.
Personally, I pride myself in that picture. Like I know it may sometimes come off, but I am very much on the side of like Mania, and that's why I said like it doesn't come from a salty place for me asking these questions. It's just purely for, and I said it to you at the start at the podcast as well, that like it's kind of like you can just turn around and be like, okay, just go back to this minute in this podcast and I explain the reason for that kind of thing. So
yeah.
So I mean, do you have anything else to say on that topic? Sorry,
Yeah,
I went on a bit
like,
of a rant there, my bad.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you will get disappointed for not being in. It is a common thing. It's just the way you really like how you present yourself. It's like I've gotten some DMs where like, I'm crying, I am upset. Why am I not in this event? Wow. Like that is just like making me not want to put you in the event at all. We've had people make this whole entire rant on Twitter about why they're not in and why it's always like the same people and it's like really boring. And we're like, well, you just lost your chance. I'm sorry. And it's like, it's sometimes also it's people who have, for example, applied 4 times and have been in 2 of those times, which is like crazy.
A good ratio,
There are people in the server who have never been in a single event and have not like mentioned being upset once. For example, Merkvaman, he's on Banana this time. I know we're not saying the same name but this is like for a good thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it personally, but you can. So I guess for me, I don't just want to say it.
Yeah, he played in the first event, and this is his like second time playing. I have never seen him complain once, except for the fact that he never complained, but he has like supported and like was like excited to see every team happen. you know what, that type of behavior is like, okay, I'll put him in again. That's like the behavior I want to see. It's like, it's not like being just rude and disrespectful just because you were not in one event. And you never know, you could have been in the next one. But like, you know, you're just hurting your chances by complaining. That's how I see it. I don't know how other event owners, we got what, 100 applications in this one. Even if we didn't have like, I mean, what, we had 4 people like that had like a, in quotations, I mean, still, that's what, 36 spaces. That's still not a lot. I mean,
You're crying out a little bit, by the way, just a tiny bit.
yeah, but a lot of people are applying, so it's really hard to accept everyone. And I said this before, if I can have 100-player event every time, I will do it. But it's obviously impossible.
I guess that's like we're unfortunate, and I like to say we're friends. I don't use the word friend really, but I mean we like have streamed together in the past. I'm pretty sure we're going to stream together in the future, and I was on your team for Mania. So I guess that's why I'm fortunate of like, if I come to you, like when I said about like, I mean even a question on the podcast, you know, it doesn't really come from a place of toxicity. It's more just me questioning to get an answer kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously.
So I hope like when you say about ruining chances, and like I hope that doesn't mean me, because if it did come off, I don't know how it would have personally, but I don't think anything I've asked or anything has come off as toxic.
No, it hasn't.
But what's it called? I'm just like, I guess mine just comes from, and that's why if I ever have a question, I DM you about it as well, because it just comes from a place of curiosity rather than causing drama on Twitter. Like I posted a meme funny, but if I went to Twitter and was like, oh, I'm benched, if I captioned it, benched on Minecraft Mania again, this sucks, this is stupid, that's when it's like, but it's just the image. It's just a funny image of me on the bench like Ronaldo. It's literally a picture of Ronaldo edited kind of thing. So I guess with talking about like teams and signups and stuff like that, linked to it, and I didn't even realize we've been recording for an hour now. Jeez. So we won't spend too much time on this. We're talking about signups. So you announced signups on Thursday or Friday?
Yeah.
And then you release teams on Sunday. So I mean, I know you get excited. I know you've said it before that you get excited, and I understand that. I personally think it should always be a week. Sign up should be a week long, because I guess like, once again, not to lead DMs, I think we DM'd about something regarding me signing up. I asked like something about playing, oh, I can't guarantee until Wednesday, and then you was like, oh, it's fine, you know, teams won't be announced till next Sunday anyway, so you have that time. And it's just like, well, I still won't know until Wednesday, but you've already announced teams, so I don't, you know. Oh yeah, just let me know we won't finalize teams by next Friday. Teams have been announced.
Well, what happened is I was like, I'm gonna wait a while, you know, just give it a while. Start making teams, like maybe make like a little bit of drafts there and there. But we got like 90 applicants in the first day and a half, so like we didn't expect that. So, and then we just really didn't like move applications wise, so there wasn't really that much like changing to the teams we could do. And yeah, me and Mickey are really impatient. We're very, very impatient, especially me. And I enjoy making teams. They're kind of fun, although kind of stressful. So when it comes to making the teams, we just made them, and then we agreed at a point where like, you know what, these teams are fine. They're pretty good. I mean, there's not really that much changing we can do, like unless like we saw that like no one was really applying. So you're like, you know what, let's just aim for Sunday. My ideal thing is to always have it a week in, and then maybe like release them the day after the week like of the applications closed. And I think we might start doing that, because we did get some like we did get some like feedback from that. We were like, okay, maybe it is like a impatient, more fun side for us, but there are people who are like very busy. So it is a bit like, you know.
Yeah, because I know you can't like change the whole like tournament from like one person, i.e. me. Like, you're not gonna revolve the entire tournament around me. It's just like I guess it's just missing out. Like I mean, even if I did say I can guaranteed make it, there's no guarantee I'm in a tournament. But the fact of saying yes increases my chances, which you stated, and which makes sense. It's like to put down maybe, to be fair, and then like I won't know until Wednesday, and then teams already announced. It's just like like if it was a week long, I could have on Wednesday turned around and be like, okay, yeah, I can't make make it, and then I wouldn't have felt so bad. Or I can 100% make it, I have a chance. But like when I put maybe, it's like it's basically just I don't have a chance, but there's still faith kind of thing. So which I mean, it's excitement, which isn't a problem. It's just you being happy to announce the teams, which completely makes sense. And if you've already drafted up teams, there was like no way that if I turn around on Wednesday and said, yeah, I'm in the tournament, they're like, that I can play the tournament, they're like, you're like, all right, let's replace this person with Orbits kind of thing, because you're already happy with your teams. I guess it's just like, it also gives a chance of if someone wants to join the tournament, like a bigger creator, or maybe they just hadn't seen the applications, or maybe they got contacted afterwards, or, you know, like, I was in London on Friday. I was not even in London, I was just out with one of my content creator friends on Friday and Saturday. So, you know, I think I applied Friday night, but had I not had the chance to, I would have just straight up missed out on applications anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we did get the I missed the application thing. Can you like next time maybe have them for a week?
Yeah, which I mean, I guess it's just feedback. Like, as long as it's not made in a side way, like, oh, you're annoying that you made it so quick. Like, as long as it's like I'm saying feedback, or I just personally feel like it should be a week longer. That's not to say you're gonna do that, because it's your choice at the end of the day. If I was running the tournament, I feel like giving a week for people to have a chance, because people might not always see it. People might be away. Like, say I was on holiday from like Thursday to Wednesday. I've missed out on signing off applications if I'm in a place with no service, kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? Which is unlikely. It's just scenarios kind of thing. But yeah, I just wanted to know. There's not really too much to talk about on that topic. So we have one more thing, and then I have Twitter questions for you. And like I said, I don't want the podcast to be too long because I have to edit this. So you know, so a quick little rundown of like, I guess from you, a little statement. Where do you want to take the event? Any leaks for new games? Any leaks for anything? What is the future of Minecraft Mania?
I want like Minecraft Mania to be. I mean, it's a hard question to say, to answer. I hope Minecraft Mania continues to get bigger. I hope it continues to not be like oh my god, what's the word? To not have any like, you know, problems and stuff. I just hope that like event by event, it just keeps getting better and better, not just like turning the opposite direction and getting worse. Regarding to like size in itself, I do hope to aim to reach out to bigger, maybe influencers if possible. Obviously, like we can't really like control everything. We just let everything fall in our lap and we're like, oh, thank you, you know? Like, you know, someone reaches out to play, we're like, yeah, sure, we will have you in. Any leaks or new games that I can talk?
Well, you don't have to. You can literally say, no, I'm not saying anything. It's just if
I
you
can
want
say
to.
one thing.
Go on then.
Okay, I can say that we're moving into 8 games now rather than 6 games. And that has already been leaked, but I only said it like once live on stream. So, and I guess I can say something that like hasn't been really much announced before, but I will say that a new PvP game will be added to the mix, which I don't think I don't think I have personally seen. It's similar to a certain game, but I haven't seen like the idea of it anywhere before. So it's really exciting.
Okay, interesting. And then this isn't really a leak; it's just a new thing. Teams of 5
and teams of 5, yeah.
So yeah, I made the joke in the Discord. So you went from teams of 3 to teams of 4 in 2 events. It should be teams of 6. We're on track for teams of 6 now. So that'll be interesting.
I was just kidding. That's something I will never do. It's not like balancing would be such a pain in the ass. Oh,
I think it was you who said this. Like with teams of 5, you can have like 3 good players and 2 like not so good players, or like kind of like 2 vibey players and 3 try-hard players, kind of thing. That kind of idea. It's a lot easier to balance with 5 teams, which is understandable. I just like the concept of 4 teams personally, but it's not my event. I just want to play in it, kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's interesting to hear. We didn't talk about it either, and I just want to bring it up. Pride was really cool as well. I really enjoyed Pride. How much money did we end up raising? Because I think me and my girlfriend, we donated £20 together.
We raised a total of £450, but I think the foundation, it took it in like dollars. So I don't even know what happened, but in total it was like $550, which is crazy for our first event. And I am really thankful to everyone who has donated, even if it was just like £1, because like any donation really helps. And it was for a really, really good cause, and a very cause that I think we're not really talked about, since, you know, when you hear like LGBTQ safety type of foundations, you really hear about like the Trevor Project, which is an amazing cause, but we wanted to go for something that maybe is more, you know, not really heard of that much. So we went for the Stonewall Project, and it's a really good foundation, and I'm happy that we raised half 1,000, like 550, for a really good cause. And I want to do it again for
MCC also does the Trevor project as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's nice to
yeah.
like raise for a different thing. Because until you read the names out loud, I didn't even know. One of my viewers, Avery, they donated $50 or £50 or something like that. So when you read the name out loud, I was literally muted. I was like, Avery? I was like, what? I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, geez, okay, it's sick though. Yeah, it was nice to see like one of my viewers donate big as well.
What I enjoyed from like every Minecraft event that did a prize special edition, it was like every event had its different cost. Some MCC had Trevor Project. Block Wars had, oh no, I don't know the exact one. Neither of the name, but every event had a different foundation, which is really cool because like everyone's donating. It's not like, it's different foundations. Really, really cool.
I can check it for you now if it loads. Block Wars had Outright International.
Uh-huh.
And
Mhm.
Mayhem had what did Mayhem have? Oh, Mayhem also had Outright International as well.
Oh.
But I think that but they didn't know. I think because they announced it, didn't they? So they didn't know Block Wars were gonna have Outright International as well. But they did a different one to like what Mania did. So, but yeah, fair enough. So, to wrap this podcast up a little bit, because we are now up to an hour and 10 minutes, so it won't be that long after the edits, but point stands. I have 3 Twitter questions for you, and then I have actually a question for the outro, which I don't normally have, but it's also because I kind of forgot to ask it. So, you get the special treatment. So, the first one is for Merc Verman. I'm pronouncing it like that because I want to. Mr. Verman. There we go. So, I guess just try and keep these short. I mean, to be fair, they're kind of easy to answer.
Okay.
Do you have any plans of adding new games in the future, which you've already answered, so I guess the second question is more what you need to answer. Or perhaps bringing back some of the good old classics, and in brackets, Spleef.
I will say that there is some plans of bringing back some of the, I'll say classics and just leave it there.
Would it be in a different form, or I guess do you want to just leave it at that?
It'll be, yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Okay, all right. I tried. You gotta give it to me. All right. See, short and simple, nice and easy. The next one is from, I'm gonna butcher this. You'll know how to pronounce this. Xyphia.
I don't know.
Xyphia. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I've spelled out. Who is the best builder in the staff team?
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, I might hurt people's feelings.
You don't have to answer. You could literally just cop out and say all of them.
No. I'm not afraid of them DMing me after. I think that like every admin has like they build different things. We sometimes work on the same project. But I think from what I've seen the best builds of probably Sturm Cheese. He built the Sky Survivors map with the Disney castle and like the different Disney themes. He built that all by himself. Except for I think 2 islands. But the rest was all by him. He has put so much time into the event and building. But yeah, like I mean, Izzy, like very new builder, but has made some amazing additions. Some that you will see in Mania 5. Obviously Mickey is a really good. He has built, I think, all of the racers maps.
Again, by the way.
What?
Cutting out a tiny bit again, by the way.
What should I just? Okay, anyways.
I just slowed down a tiny bit. I think that's what's.
Yeah, Mickey builds all of the racers maps, and they're phenomenal. Rainbow Road was like
that was great. I loved Rainbow Road. Yeah,
he built all himself. So yeah, but I think my personal favorite builder is Sturm because the Disney builds were phenomenal, and I really much enjoyed them. He has also built most of the hub and Parkour Panic, and as well.
Well, yeah, I guess if he's done the most stuff, then that like makes sense as to why he's a favorite.
Mickey has also done a lot of stuff. He built like the hide and go hunt maps, but my personal favorite is Stern Cheese.
Fair enough. And then the final Twitter question comes from 40. Oh yeah, what?
Oh no, sorry.
No, go on. What was you gonna say?
No, I gasped.
Oh, okay. Why?
I don't know. I just gasped.
Okay. This comes from Fortnite 69 Gamer. Did you gasp because you thought it was going to be another question?
No. I was like...
You just gasped.
I just gasped.
Okay. So Fortnite 69 Gamer. What was the hardest game to make?
I don't know. I'm going to try and...
Once again, just because they're Twitter questions doesn't mean you have to answer them. Like, if you don't know...
I have an idea. It's like... Oh my... Because like most of the games, like we don't really have any new games. They've all been like the same. I would say probably Precision Build. One sec. Someone needs to enter my room. Hold on. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. So you said precision build and you was going to build on that.
Okay. Yeah. So precision build. It was really hard because I mean the way we had it and like the way like the detection of like the blocks and making sure that it detects the correct blocks to move on to the next build and giving the items to the specific team and the scoring. I feel like that was the hardest game in general to code. I think building wise then is hide and go hunt, because to build that map, Mickey has put in his blood, sweat, and tears to build like maps. It's like, because you have to obviously want to make it look beautiful. You have to make it playable, and you have to make possible parkour jumps. But we also have the addition of the hiding aspect, so you have to include hiding spots. So yeah, I would say that code-wise, precision build, and build-wise is hide and go hunt.
So I actually enjoyed precision build a lot more than I thought I would. I guess it's because we also did well. But my strat for precision build, and I talked to my viewers about it as well, I said like with like the colorful ones and stuff, I knew I'd get a bit confused and overwhelmed, whereas like you guys were better than me. So every single time we came to colors, I literally just sat there and watched you guys do it. Which wasn't me like trying to be lazy or like not be a team player. It's literally I knew that if I did it, I'd get in the way, and it worked.
You did an amazing job. I mean, we won, so
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So that's the end of the Twitter questions. I guess part of the outro now. I do have one last question for you because we did mention it. You said in Discord or in the MC Mania Discord. I'm not sure if it's in the main one or the private one. People know the private one exists. I don't think it's that big of a deal if I mention it. That on Wednesday this week, we are recording on Monday. Wednesday this week, you have an announcement. So this podcast will be coming out on the Friday, the week after you make the announcement. But perfect time to announce what exactly this is going to be, because this podcast actually comes out on the 7th of July. So,
well, by the time you were seeing this, I decided that after holding an amazing charity event for Mania and raising that much money, I want to do something where I just stream. Maybe not every day in general, maybe because like some days, anything can happen. But I want to try and have the entire month of July where every stream I do, I am going to be raising money for the Sarcoma Foundation. I'll get the exact name, so I'm not like, the Sarcoma Foundation of America, which is, obviously the finding the cure to sarcoma. And it's a really good cause. I think, I'll probably be streaming when this is out. Maybe I'll do a live reaction to it. Who knows?
I mean, it's going to be a long podcast, and this comes out at 12 p.m. BST, so you probably won't be live when you'll be streaming on the day. Yeah, true. Is there any reason you're doing it for the Sarcoma Foundation, or is that just the one you chose?
In general, like, obviously, like, don't want to really mention it just because, we had, like, a fun vibe in a podcast, so I don't want to, like, bring it down the end, but cancer is a bitch. And I've lost loved ones, and we've all lost loved ones. So I just want to do something and help us rid of this annoying ass thing.
And that's honestly great. Fair enough. I'll be sure to donate when I can. But yeah,
thank you.
This is the end of the podcast. Sadly, Justin, it's been great talking to you. I hope you enjoyed. I
had so much fun. I enjoy talking. So this is just like a, what's it called? A vacation for me. Not vacation.
And you got to warm up on the other podcast to be great for this one. So there you go.
Yeah.
I got the best Justin there could be.
Yeah.
Before I do the outro though, I give this opportunity. Once again, I said this on the last podcast. Don't really know why I leave it into the end. I kind of just do. For you to promote anything, your Twitch, the tournament, just a quick little segment for you to kind of where can people find you? Where can people find the tournament? All that kind of.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Flynn_TIC. Or you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Flintic. But also I have Minecraft Mania, as we were talking about throughout this entire podcast, which you can find more about the event on our Twitter, which is at MC_Mania event. There you'll find information of what the teams are for the current event, what games are for the current event, and when the event is in general. Yeah, that's all.
Great. Very, very, very. Yeah, man, I've actually lost I can't speak English today. Very sick. There we go. It was like you pre-planned that. Obviously, you probably didn't, but I mean, it was so well done. But yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been the Inside Minecraft podcast. Yet another tournament owner on the podcast. You are the third person, so I am really collecting all the tournaments right now. And I guess if you're a tournament owner and you want to come on, and I guess I want you on, because that's also a factor. Don't be disheartened if I say no. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Pieces.